Welcome back to part 2. Today on HMODS Makes a Mess, we are, well, I was thinking about just starting to paint, but then last night while we were in bed, I completely forgot a step, and that is the window that we have to cut into the side panel. I can barely hear myself.
You forgot a step in bed last night,
huh?
So you forgot a step in bed last night, huh?
Huh?
You said you forgot a step in bed last night.
Hey everyone, I got some new merch. There's really nothing more to say except for the fact that I think it's pretty f***ing cool. Yeah, new merch. Go check it out. Oh, I see that cool pint glass. I made that. And I made that too. Ooh, and that. That's, I like that one. So, yeah, go buy some HMODS merch. It let your friends know how cool it is. How cool I am. Or that you think I'm cool, whatever. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so, what I've done is I've measured this off, which is relatively the same area as this. You'll notice it's just it's a tad less on the area, and mostly like it's like this lip right here is where the bottom piece of tape comes in, and the only reason excuse me, Lotus. The only reason it's like that is because of this. We have to make sure to pay attention to these things. Not so much this, but I wanted to have it somewhat the same area as the glass panel. This is just kind of one of those things you always need to pay attention to, and whatever. So that's what we're going to be doing first. Then we're going to take all this crap upstairs and paint. Now, along those lines, where is it? Aha. See, with Tango, I did this too. This is special paint. What this is it's kind of textured, but it's a stone kind of grit. Can you see that?
Yeah, you can.
It's stone grit, so it's going to have a nice textured feel. And the reason why I do that is because on tanks and ships and all that stuff, in order to maintain grip, what they do is they paint it really, they'll paint it like really gravelly, and that's so you can maintain grip on there. So while I can't use the same kind of paint that they do on the tanks and shit, this works really well. It's a nice analog, and we've got tons of this. And it's not like the color isn't so important because we're painting over it, but I've got lots. Actually, first what we're going to be doing is we're going to be painting the inside. And then since that doesn't matter, all I'm going to do is mask the inside and that. First thing we got to do is cut. And I made sure to what was it that we were working on that gave us a huge helping of problem. Which project was it that we were working on where this sort of like went oblong and it was cutting at itself?
The last one.
Which one was that? That's right. No, not Blandolf. We had to cut more out of the Commander. I replaced the disc on this thing a couple of weeks ago because the other one was getting a little small. And this happened. And I don't know why. It might have been off balance or something. Anyway, so that one had to go back. And so this one is on there, and I made sure that it's not like it's not going against the thing at all. So that's step number 1 today.
Step number 1 today was masking off the area, but yeah.
Huh?
You'll hear it in editing.
So here we go. Yeah. That cut really smoothly! Oh yeah, that went swimmingly. Alright. So that was really easy. And, you know, it's because of this that I no longer want to cut a hole for the power supply, because I just sort of shot myself in the foot. If I was going to do that, I should have cut a bigger window, but now I don't think I'm going to. And frankly, I think that's the better idea anyway. It'll add a little bit of uniformity, and also, for a case like this, and I can't show you now, but for a case like this, anything underneath where the power supply shroud is on this side, you can see a shitload of cables. So I think I prefer this anyway. So you'll still be able to see the cables coming up and it's going to look nice, but you won't be able to see any of the dirtiness underneath. And that's kind of why, like, I like the modern style of case, but I do kind of still prefer the older style because the motherboard plate went all the way down and all the cables and stuff were on the other side of that. And if I make a power supply shroud, then you're not going to see shit. This actually, I think this was the straightest cut that I've made, which is pretty good. And considering I don't have any special tools or anything, this worked really, really well. So now we gotta do is like grind, or we have to get all the metal shavings out with this thing. Good stuff. Nice and straight. So now we'll get all this cleaned. I'm gonna take a rag to this, get all the crap off, and we'll just take it outside, paint it, wait for it to dry, mask it off, paint this side. It's gonna go good. And then after we do the stone, then we're gonna, after we do the stone on the outside, we're gonna do it with this color, which is interior paint, and that's because they didn't have this color spray paint. It's desert tan, and I figured since we're still going with the military kind of look, and Tango had a nice forest camouflage, we're going with desert camo this time. I don't remember what the color is called. Probably 67 or 42. Yeah, so we'll get this cleaned up. It's important to do, this is an important step, because if you leave dust on there, it can make the paint easier to come off. Not that something like this is a huge deal, but we're making sure that we do the good product on this one. And especially since this case was so dusty when I noticed that when I was taking it apart. This is like, especially for white, you really want to get everything cleaned off. Dust can make the paint come off really easily. Sometimes if you do that,
I can kind of see the dust on here really well. So
yeah. For some projects, like if you wanna age it or anything like that, that can be useful. But in that particular instance, if you do want to purposely age it, I suggest hairspray. Because if you spray a light coat of hairspray down in certain spots, then when you paint on top of it, you let it dry for about 5 minutes, and then you take some steel wool and rub it off, and it looks really cool. So yeah, we're gonna get this cleaned up, we'll get it outside, I'm gonna start painting. This part, I don't need to be, well, no, this is the part that I do need to be pretty with. Alright, we paint. Wait, nope, glass panel. I was worried about the panel that was missing, and then I remembered that it is a glass panel. So here we go. Well, if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. I don't know why I'm bothering to do that. That's where the rivets are going. Now you might be asking yourself, why am I doing this? These are just screens. Well, because uniformity. This we don't really need to do either, but I'm a big fan of, if you're gonna do something, dude, you know, if you're gonna paint, make sure that, I don't know, why the hell am I painting the outside? Well, yeah. And I was asking Danielle about this part. This is the hard drive. This is the hard driving. This is the hard drive bay. And I was asking her whether or not I should paint this at all, and she's like, "Well, it can't hurt."
It will reflect more light. I know you're gonna have light inside the case. So.
That is true. And this one's about tapped. There's a lot of pieces for this thing.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about putting the whole bunch together.
Well, thankfully, I mean, the cases themselves are pretty. You know, you just have to make sure to put all the inside together before you put the outside. Although this goes with this before it goes into the case, and then the bottom of it goes on the outside of the case. So I have to. It's kind of like. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Kind of.
I love those.
You love jigsaw puzzles? Yeah, duh. I'm a big fan of textured paint, and that's because unlike high gloss, this stuff when it heats up, it doesn't kind of dull a little bit. One of the things that I noticed with the Commander, and this is before I started using this stuff, where the motherboard is, motherboards get hot. And as we all know, heat is your enemy. Well, as it turns out, that also applies to painting. And I think if I'm going to use gloss again, what I'm going to do, and this is probably something I should have thought of in the first place, auto paint. Auto paint doesn't dull with heat because it's paint that's specifically made for parts that get hot, like brakes and shit. So next time I'm going to do a gloss or semi-gloss, going to AutoZone to get auto paint. And that's also the same stuff that they use in painting firearms, because firearms get hot as well. I'm thinking I don't know why I'm bothering to paint the outside of it because we're going to mask it off and paint it desert tan.
I thought you were doing the insides of the things. Didn't you put all the outsides face down?
Yes, but you'll notice like these lips,
Yeah.
these are going to get, well,
I mean, if you're not 100% sure, you might as well spray
yeah.
the edges. It's not like you're actually flipping them over and doing the other side.
Yeah.
You need the Jeopardy music right now.